Okay, ladies and gents, welcome back to Bar Chat Sports. This is our number one podcast, sports podcast, and this is our Cheltenham Festival Special. We said that we would bring you some special guests. We're delighted to be joined by the legendary champion jockey and trainer Jonjo O'Neill and the future of racing, AJ O'Neill. Guys, I know it's a really busy time for you ahead of the festival, so thank you so much for giving us a bit of your time to have a chat. How are you both, first of all? Looking forward to the festival, no doubt.
Thank you very much for having us on. Really well at the moment. Very excited for the week ahead, and just looking forward to it all.
It's the big one. Jonjo, you've been hugely successful as a jockey and a trainer at the festival. What is it that makes the festival so very special?
I suppose the Irish. But they're coming over with too many good horses now at the moment, and we're not really liking them that much.
Mr. Mullins is he's right.
Yeah, him and Gordon and Henry. Yeah, but listen, it's the usual very exciting week, really, and we all look forward to it, really. And you know, everybody. The lovely thing about Cheltenham is everybody has an opinion. Doesn't matter whether you know or you don't know. You have an opinion anyway. So.
Yeah, particularly if you're Irish.
Yeah, and and if you're right, you're a genius, and if you're not, sure, you're okay anyway.
Yeah.
Everything goes.
Well, there's a different atmosphere in there, isn't there? In the paddock when that, especially the first day, and the roar they all talk about. It's just there is something in the water at Cheltenham for sure.
Yeah, it's what you work for all season, really, isn't it? You know, and. When the tapes go up for the first race, like it's a magnet, it's a magic kind of a place, and it's a bit of a magnet to get involved in it, really. And it's just something we look for all season, and you're always looking for a nice horse or two to go there. And
you've had a few.
Had a few, yeah. We've got a few runners next week, so hopefully we've a few chances, but so is everybody else.
Well, Jonjo, you've ridden, I think it's over 900 winners, didn't you?
And
you've trained over 2,500, I think is the number. But during all of that, you've had two really badly broken legs, amongst other things. You know, not to mention the cancer and so on. But you always come back stronger. And what's the secret, or are you just sheer bloody mindedness?
Well, I never broke my left leg, so I'm quite good, really.
No, but you just I know you, as you know, and you've just gone, no, I'm not having this, and you just get on with it and get over it.
We just love it, really. You know, that's the top and bottom of it. We love we love the game, and the people that are in it are great people, really. They're sporting people, you know. It's just a fantastic sport to be involved in, and if you're lucky enough to get some nice horses and good rides, it's the greatest game in the world, you know.
Talking of good rides, mate, I will never forget the 1986 Gold Cup Dawn Run.
That was a good day.
Only horse to ever win the champion hurdle of the Gold Cup. Honestly, I thought Wayward Lad and Forgive and Forget had her when you jumped the last, but she was so game. What were you thinking?
To be honest with you, we'd gone such a good gallop all the way around. Jumping the second last, I thought nothing is going to catch us, really. You know, we've gone a real good gallop run and skipping and her, and we jumped the second last, and the two boys passed us on Wayward Lad and Forgive and Forget as if we were standing still, really, you know. And we'd gone so fast all the way, I thought I need to give her a breather at some stage, so I just left her alone for a few strides, and she took a real good heave. And knowing she was so gutsy and that, you know, kept going down. And about halfway down to the last, I knew she was going to win, because I'd ridden Wayward Lad the year before when Michael had the first 5.
Yeah.
And he didn't get the trip there, in my opinion. And I thought he won't get home because we've gone such a good gallop. And Forgive and Forget was coming to the end of his tether. So I thought we've got a chance, and she went down and flew the last, and you know, that was it. History is there.
Well, you love mares like that, don't you? That just don't give up. Let's just put their heads down and go for it. And she certainly did that. I've got
She
another.
did.
I've got an impossible question for you. How does it feel winning the Gold Cup as a trainer with Synchronized in 2012? How does that compare to riding a winner like Dawn Run?
It's fantastic, but it's a big team effort. There's, when you're training, you can only do so much, So when you're riding, it's all down to you. You're either a hero or a zero. But
Yeah.
training, it's a great camaraderie because you got all the staff in the yard and everybody is involved in it. And, when it works out right, it's a fantastic feeling really for everybody. It's what you, as I say, it's what you work for all season, isn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, another impossible question. As you got that one, of all the incredible Cheltenham horses you've ridden, who would you say was the best you've ever sat on? Dawn Run, Sea Pigeon? What do you think?
Sea Pigeon was the faster of the two, definitely.
Yeah.
2 great days on Dawn Run, but Sea Pigeon was a magical horse, and I was lucky enough. I had lots of good winners with him on the flat as well as over jumps, so
Yeah.
he'd be a long time favourite, really.
I've
But
heard you say that sitting on him, like when you kick on, it's like it's putting your foot down in a Ferrari and just
yeah,
sets off.
yeah, exactly that. He had so much pace in the end when he strengthened up, and yeah, he was probably the best horse really. I was lucky enough to win the Ebor on him on the flat as well as a few other flat races. So yeah, he would be held high now.
He'd be your pick. All right.
AJ, I've got a question for you, actually. I worked with the old man for many years, and I wanted firstly to ask you how that dynamic works. And it's a big family affair, obviously, and there must be some sibling rivalry with Jonjo Jr. riding as well. Or is it just some seamless affair that unicorns have?
Seamless affair that unicorns have, really.
Diplomatically said.
We're very lucky. We're all pulling towards the same objectives. We might have slightly different ideas on how to get there, but when all is said and done, we're all aiming towards the same thing. So, we always listen to each other's ideas of how to get there, and then we go with Dad's opinion in the first place.
That sounds like
Not always. Not always.
That was like the Brian Clough thing. What did he say? We all have a different opinion, then they realise I was right, or something.
Yeah,
Exactly what he said.
yeah, good line.
It's classic line. But I know, Jonjo, you like to be up and close with the horses you have all your life. But AJ, I wanted to ask you from a technology perspective. I know this does play an important role in modern racing, and in football, for example, there's an infinite amount of statistics and conditioning and so on and so forth that comes back through that. And I just wanted to ask if you had your finger on the pulse with that, in terms of if that was a massive part of modern racing, and whether that or how that drives decision making, or is it all down to? I remember Jenny Pittman saying she just knows her horses when we used to go and see her, and she had a gut instinct. How much do you rely on technology these days, AJ? Is that a massive part?
Look, it's definitely becoming a bigger part, as I suppose it is for everything. Really, I don't think it's the be all and end all. It's impossible to replicate kind of any meaningful level of horsemanship with a computer at the moment, as far as I know. But it's certainly helpful. You might see a horse and think, oh, he doesn't look as well as he did a little while back, and then it's a bit easier with more data that we store, and different ways of analyzing it that we can actually assess, okay, he's not looking quite the way he was, but we can probably get to the bottom of why he's not a little bit faster.
How do you get that data? How do you manifest that data? How do you physically get it?
Loads of different ways. There's all sorts of different things that are coming in, heart rate monitors. It's a bit easier, weigh horses now, all those sorts of things. So right. a vast heap of different ways, really. And then obviously with computers, you always, as long as you kind of have it stored, you always have the data at the tips of your fingers. So it's just being able to kind of understand and get back on track and get the horses as happy and healthy as we possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to help, isn't it? Jonjo, I read that this would be your 50th combined victory as a jockey and trainer at Cheltenham. I wanted to ask you whether you took note of these statistics that get thrown your way, and in light of such a success, is there a different approach that you take to Cheltenham to any other meeting?
Not really. It's all about keeping them healthy, and keeping them safe, as the fellow says, and having them in good form. Technology is great, but you have to go back to basics really with an animal, and that's, it's getting them right, and hopefully they don't get sick a few weeks beforehand or whatever, and set you right back, because if they get sick, then you're in trouble really. But they do a lot of different things now, like they go around fogging the boxes and, trying to keep all the bugs out of the way if you can. And it's all new technology in that respect, really. But does it work or not? I don't know, but we do it because we're desperate to keep it right and get it right, So, you try anything.
Absolutely. We did as a jockey.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, Jonjo, training for the wonderful John McManus, who I know from personal experience, a proper gent. I've got a little story. I went to Phoenix Park, oh God, 100 years ago now, and he was on the rails. I was with the legendary Mike Dillon, who's coming on here later this week, and I went up to John and said, "Can I have 100 quid on this horse?" And he said, "No." I said, "Why's that?" Well, he said, "Because it's not going to fucking win." I said, "All right, okay." So he said, "Back this one." So I backed it, and it won. So I went up and I said, "Jonjo, JP, it doesn't work like this, does it? I mean, you're supposed to take my money. You're not supposed to give me yours." But that's typical of JP. I mean, he's just a top man, isn't he?
Yeah, he loves the game.
Seeing those famous green and gold silks on a horse you've trained must be a real, it's just a pleasure, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. Yeah, it doesn't happen enough.
Yeah.
I wanted to turn to the festival this year. You've got a number of runners in there. Springwell Bay is the one that I've got cropping up first. Ran in Grade 1 company as a hurdler, classy horse, needs a gallop. Made a perfect start in the new year with a great performance in the Betfair Exchange handicap chase at Cheltenham under Jonjo Jr. He's had a break in the run up to Cheltenham. How's he looking was my first question. And have you decided which race he will run in yet?
I haven't decided in which race he's running yet, because the way it's drying out and one thing and another, but I would imagine it'll be one of the 2.5 miles, I'd say.
Yeah.
We didn't confirm him for the Arkle, so that's the way we're heading at the moment. He's in great form. He the first couple of runs this year were a little bit frustrating and a little bit disappointing with him really, but he got a really good gallop on New Year's Day, and that suits him. And then the race fell apart and he won a bit too easily, and he got a heavy hike in the handicap, which isn't what you want when you're going to Cheltenham, but that's the way it worked out. It made him look better than what he maybe is, but we've got him in great form. Everything seems to be right for him. And no doubt he'll get a good gallop at Cheltenham, because they always go a good gallop. So he's probably our best chance going there, really.
Yeah. Well, he's Gay Smith's horse, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. Gay owns him. Yeah, she bought him
I was talking to Derek last night because I didn't know if he was going to come to Cheltenham, but he says he's not coming. So I can't imagine what he finds better than in sunny Barbados than windswept Cheltenham. There you go.
Yeah, tell him it's very sunny at the moment.
Yeah, I did try that one, but you can imagine what he told me.
Yeah.
Talking of JP, Johnnywho, is he going to run in the Kim Muir? He's his favourite for that.
Yeah, he is. Derek rides him, Derek O'Connor.
Yeah.
He actually bought the horse for him. So yeah,
Yeah.
he'll go there with a nice chance, hopefully. Hard race to win, but he'll go there with a life chance, hopefully.
Well, he's got a hell of a good jockey on him, hasn't he?
Yeah, Derek is very good. Yeah,
Yeah.
good man.
Yeah.
And Hasthing is again coming into Festival House. Is he's going to run in the National Hunt or the King Meal? Where have we got a place for him yet?
The Ken Muir. He'll go on the Ken Muir, and Derek will ride him. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's Jonnyho Hasthing will likely look at. We'll probably have a look at the National Hunt Chase for Hasthings.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
He changed it to Hasthing.
Oh, sorry.
Right. You wouldn't want to run them against each other, really, would you?
No. They'll definitely go different races. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say Hasthing he will be more suited to the longer distance race. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And Crebilly, is he running the plate or?
Don't know
No.
which one. He's in the 3 mile as well. He looked
Yeah.
like he needed further at Windsor. I think I'd be edging that way a little bit, but I don't know. We haven't spoken to Frank and the lads yet, so we'll probably be a last minute decision.
What's the time frame, guys? Do you have to make it public or let them know? Is it 48 hours before, or is it more?
Basically, it's 48 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, declarations are 48 hours before.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But obviously the Ultima is a couple of days before the plate, so
Oh, you'll know.
you kind of know.
You'll know by definition. You'll know. Yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of obviously after declarations for Tuesday for the Ultima, you'll kind of
You know where he's running.
yeah, but he's either declared or he's not for that, and then he'll
Yeah.
be either there or the other one on Thursday.
Yeah.
Right. Well, look, all the best of luck with all the runners. 2 strong odds-on favourites for the Gold Cup and the Champion Hurdle this year, and they're both brilliant horses on their day. But I don't know. Could you see an upset in either race? Maybe Joseph O'Brien's Banbridge in the Gold Cup, or Gordon Elliott's Brighter Days Head in the Champion Hurdle, because he says he's going to run in the Champion instead of the Mares.
Yeah, if she runs and that, she will be hard to beat, and so will Willie's. What was Willie's last called again?
Lossy Math.
Lost him out, yeah. I think that the Champion Hall will be a cracking race, really, but obviously looking at the form and the races this year, it will be hard to beat Constitution Hill, but I think it could end up a fascinating race. That the
Yeah.
Gold Cup, I think Willie's has to win the Gold Cup the way he won it. The way he won at Leopardstown, he gets the trip really well, and that's what you need in the Gold Cup. You have to stay, you have to go gallop, jump, and stay. If you don't stay, you don't win. So he's a good stayer, and he's proven that,
He was hugely impressive, wasn't he, last time out?
Yeah.
I mean, and he's won the last 2, so he's a hell of a horse.
Banbridge is no fool.
I was going to ask you if there was any horse that you could ride in this year's Gold Cup. What would it be? I mean, I guess it would be that, would it?
Yeah, it would be. Yeah. But that of Banbridge, he's a very good horse, but he's got it to prove,
Yeah. He's done well, Joseph, hasn't he? Because he had some big boots to follow with Aidan, and
he's done fantastic. Yeah, he's a very good trainer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember him when he was a little boy, when we used to go to Cornwall. God, they were all little boys. But anyway, any other horses you fancy? Do you like that? You think, that could run well. That might spring a surprise.
I'll leave that one to you, Jay.
I suppose of ours, Gypcott has been in fairly good vein of form since he won at Newbury at the end of December.
Right.
So hopefully he'll run a nice race. I'd be probably with Dad for the Gold Cup and the Champion Hurdle. I don't know if there'd be. I don't think there'd be any upsets. I think the Constitution Hill and Galloping Champ are 2 very, very good horses. So yeah, I think.
But as you say, fascinating races. Fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, Lossy Mouth, I think might all go for the mares, won't it? You think?
Yeah, I wouldn't know, but maybe with Brighter Days Ahead going for the Champion Hurdle, it would be it would be an option for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I just had one last final question. I don't want to hold you up too long, guys, and that was just whether you had a funny or one of your best memories from the festival that you could leave us with, either one of you. I don't know, Dad, you told a couple of funny stories earlier, but you guys think of anything immediately, or your best, or even one of your favourite rides from the festival of all? But I think you covered that one earlier with the Sea Pigeon, did you not?
Yeah. The when Don Run won the Gold Cup, we were down in the marquee and the owners were there, and I think Oliver, is the son, and they were flying, and they got me in. They took the lining off of the marquee, and they got me in it, and they were bouncing me up and down. And I tell you what, I thought I was frightened going to the first, but I was a lot more frightened when I was getting bounced around with them lunatics. Absolute lunatics, and they're absolutely out of their mind. I thought I'm going to break my neck on my back or break something anyway. But anyway, thank God I got out of it safe and sound.
Well.
Wild men.
I wonder of racing.
Happy times, Jonjo, eh?
Oh, wild men, yeah.
Well, guys, listen, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be at the festival on Friday. I don't know if you guys there. It'd be nice to do if you're there.
Yeah, it'd be lovely to catch up. Yeah.
Well, I'd be delighted, Jonjo, to see you get that 50th winner, and we wish you and the family and all the team the very best of luck. And thank you once again, and take care.
Cheers, thank you very much. Cheers, Rob. Love to see you.